What if I told you that you could ask your users about the new feature you're trying to think of whenever you wanted before you even took it to the real world? And actually get thoughtful, useful answers back. That's what today's conversation is about.
Back in early 24, I started thinking about it and I really dug into what makes a good synthetic persona, what makes a bad one, and what are the best tools to use in developing them.
I'm talking with Mark, who has been a marketing researcher since the mid 80s and has built multiple companies and has spent decades studying how decisions actually get made. We dig into synthetic users and digital twins, what they unlock, where they fall apart, and how to use them responsibly. Let's jump right in.
This is how I vibe design.
I created a board of directors of the Best Buy company, and I wanted to detail all of the people who might be touching the area I was talking about. And I had questions about their mystery shopping programs and what they're doing and if they're doing any incentives. So I created this board of directors and I was able to interview them and answer my questions, which really gave me better direction for when I did contact them. So at that point, I decided I wanted to really dig in on the whole world of synthetic personas back in early 24. I started thinking about it and I really dug into what makes a good synthetic persona, what makes a bad one, and what are the best tools to use in developing them. Okay. All right. So, on the personas, first of all, personas are composites from multiple sources. They are not a specific person. So, consider your persona to be an ICP and a segment of that. So, in traditional marketing, we would have segments, and segments are even within one customer base. For instance, a baby manufacturer. If you're dealing with baby goods, you've got the moms, you got the dads, you got a whole bunch of different kind of moms. You got country moms, you got rural moms, you got city moms, you got younger, etc. So each of these persona types are really composite based on their demographics, based on their archetype, based on, you know, who they are on the client side. So you have to identify that first and then go out and find the sources to use that. The digital twin, on the other hand, is based on a real individual. And a lot of that has to do with first party data that maybe you conducted interviews with this person. So you would take those transcripts as well as anything else that person may have published or made publicly available. An ideal digital twin would have a strong digital footprint. So, participating in lots of recordings or podcasts or having a blog or books, that type of stuff that is digital that would help to identify their belief system, if you will, or how they view their expertise in their world. And these are really good for decision making, in particular with hard to reach stakeholders. And I started using these also for people that are like, I would do interviews with, say, carpenters or plumbers or CEOs or physicians or people are hard to reach. So once I would do the interview, I might have one or two questions I needed to ask again, and it was it was almost impossible to reach out to these people again and say, "Hey, I've got two more questions. Can you take time on Tuesday at 6 a.m. to do it?" And it's unfeasible. So this makes it possible to interview on demand at any time. Particularly the same people you might have already talked to. So when you're looking at building and I'm just for now, I'm just going to call them profiles, right? So a profile would include the twin or the persona. But whenever you're dealing with this, you want to have data that is trusted, and that means that it has citations. So, even opinions can be cited, but it should be cited as far as direct. I know where this came from. I know where this information, I didn't just make it up and the AI didn't make it up. So this is all cited information. The second thing is there's a good idea, and this is just in general, is just, work with the URLs. If there's long articles and and blogs and things like that that you have, copy the link to the URL instead of the entire text. There are other things that you will need to have the text for, and that might be your transcripts of interviews, and or any kind of graphics like photos or videos or anything like that. You want to make sure that you're getting proper attribution for those and that those links are actually working. And that's why I like to use Perplexity. Perplexity automatically provides the source citations for the information gathered, and it'll tell you also if the link is working or not, and if it's to be trusted or not.
Did you try other tools before coming down to Perplexity?
I did. I tried on Gemini. I tried on Copilot. I tried on Chat. I tried on Claude.
Mhm.
And all those didn't have you had to go in within each prompt and say, I want the citations. And then I'd have to almost beg for the citations from every LLM except for Perplexity.
Makes sense, yes.
So the implementation workflow on this is fairly simple. Essentially, gather and consolidate everything, and it really doesn't matter which tool you use. Just always make sure you're requesting source citations. I like to put it in one PDF with all the source material. The next is uploading to Notebook LM, and I'll explain a little bit about that in a moment. Once you have it in there, then you start running structured interviews. It's really good for things like concept tests, copy reviews, design decisions. Um, but all of this is directional. If you're dealing with a big decision in something, you would want to use the twin to sort of ferret out what are the big issues and then talk to the real people. So again, all of this is kind of prepping you to have those discussions with your clients, with your team members. And then if there are any unanswered questions or a big decision to be made, then you would want to go back to real people. And, if you need to have quantifiable data, then you need to do surveying. And I wouldn't recommend synthetic data for those types of decisions, big decisions, right? And that synthetic data and synthetic persona, two different issues. And that's a completely different discussion as well. But for now, we're focused on the profiles that we're going to talk to. So we're going to create a digital twin based on a real person. Let's do a search for, and let's just give it a name. Oh, do you know of someone that's got a large digital footprint?
Um, oh, I can't think of anybody right now. Blanking out.
Do you have one?
Oh no, you can decide. I was going to say me. I have a lot of things online,
Do you
but
have a large digital footprint?
I think so.
Okay, great. Let's do it. Let's do a whole. Let's figure out if you do or not. All right. So and make sure we're finding you. All right. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to say I want to find everything on just basically just find everything about you and find out which one you are. Right. So clarifying which Jasmine Kaur is here. So there's an actress, there's a writer, a doctor, and other individuals. Okay. So I'm going to say, which one are you? Now, the easy way to go there is if I just go to LinkedIn. So let's go
Mhm.
there and see. Let's find your link here. And this is always fun too. I don't know why it's LinkedIn actually having some challenges the past couple days. Jasmine Carr. Okay, so what I'm going to do here is just grab your URL. Where did it go? Oh, there it is. Go to your URL and grab it from LinkedIn. LinkedIn, and interestingly, not all LLMs will deal with a LinkedIn profile, right? They just won't. It's because it's a locked environment. And I want to see
Hmm.
because these things change every day, as you know,
True.
updates and privacy and issues like that. So what we're going to do here is just I want to do a little bit of deep research here and just see what happens. It may tell me immediately I can't go to, this person, right? So let's go into the source, unable to go to LinkedIn, right?
Oh.
But here's what we can do, all these other things. But I'm going to do this one more thing. Scrape this profile and exclude any PII. You've done this before. Please do it again. Again. And then here. And then let's see what happens. Ah, they have done that. I'll show you another fun thing though. This is kind of cool. I don't know if anyone has launched Comet or not.
Mhm.
Comet is Perplexity's browser.
Yes.
And they have, these things, I can say go ahead and proceed. I'll just have this proceed while I'm going to do this other thing, okay? So it's going to go ahead and find all the information because it knows it's you at least from the
Hmm.
LinkedIn compared to all the others, right? So these should all be related.
Oh, you're on mute.
Okay. I don't know how that happened.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Oh.
So we know that we're dealing with the right Jasmine Cower. Is that the
Yes.
Yeah. So this is, I would have to go back to you and say, is this you?
Hmm. Yeah,
Yes.
this is correct. That's me. Yes.
Okay. So then and all these are coming off your LinkedIn stuff, right? So right now I'm dealing with these sources here, but let's see what other sources you have. You have Instagram, you have your YouTube channels, you have, I don't think that's you, the actress, right?
No, that's not me. No.
Do you
Yeah.
do the
But I
patient research,
no,
associate?
no, that's not me either. But I was
Okay.
surprised I didn't pick up my Google Scholar.
Okay. Well, these are the things I have, right?
Mhm.
So I have to see which one of these I want to choose or exclude, right? So I'm
Okay.
going to go in here and say, this is the one, right? It's the business coach or not,
No,
or is it
that's
this one?
not the first one is me.
The first one was you.
The
Okay. So I want to
yeah.
exclude all these other ones here. And basically I just go like that.
Mhm.
It's just going to that right now, right? But let's go back to Perplexity here and see, now I want, I want other sources for this Jasmine, including YouTube and what else you have?
Google Scholar, Twitter.
Does that mean no, no, no? It'll have that when I do this. Okay,
Okay.
other sources than LinkedIn, other sources than what's on your profile.
Um, my
Do you have,
website, but it
do you have
should be on my profile.
again? I just looking. Do you have Do you have the website?
It's my last name, my first name, .com.
Got it. All right. And let's see here. YouTube. And then you have anything else? Do you have a blog? See, it's
Um,
easy when I've got someone here to
yes.
work with.
Yeah.
And really,
Um,
sometimes you're twins that way. Like I've done one, and I'll share it with you in a minute. It's a more extensive one, but right now I only have these, like whatever, right? And I can say a blog, any blog, any interviews, blogs, or other public citations. Okay. Now I've given it two, and it should be able to go deeper using these. Now this kind of work, just creating this takes hours sometimes. Now I got to make sure I'm still getting the right one, right? Is this App Hatchery something you did?
yes, yes,
Okay. And, make sure that all this is aligned. So your A-verse design, which is this, the podcast,
yes,
YouTube, My Journey Designing AI is AU.
yes.
Okay.
That's me.
And then video themes, all that, right? So now I'm getting more sources here that are these things, right? Notice all
Yes, these
that.
are correct.
Correct. Now I want it to provide URLs related to this Jasmine Carr, not the actress or any other Jasmine Carr. Provide URLs only to all publicly available information about that. Okay. Now it should output just the URLs. Excellent. And then I would have to go here and say, are these what you are, right? Is this all correct?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, they're correct. Their Twitter is, yeah, I think it just has something extra after my, yeah, but it looks correct.
All right. Great.
Yep.
Now,
Yep.
what I'm going to do is just take all this and just say, okay, output only the URLs. And then I'll say, so I can copy, paste a PDF. Boom. I can even ask for the output to PDF if I want. So that's it. That's your life in URLs, okay? And so we're going to go here and say this is going to be our brain. Now I would go from here to docs and just kind of create a doc. Let's just figure one out here. I'm just going to dump that in for now, right? And see what happens. There we go. There's your brain. Now, a lot of people have much more extensive stuff and photos and
I'm
all this kind of
sure. I'm
stuff, right?
sure.
But
Yeah.
for now, we're just going to do this. We're going to call it, and again, I'm going to go to my naming convention, Jasmine. Okay. All right. And I'm going to say, that's going to be, what is it, 12.6 now? No, 5, 12.5,
Right.
25. And then I'm going to create the twin. There we go. Got that. Now, then I'll simply output it. Wherever that is. Move. No. Download. PDF. And here we go. Got my download. I'm going to move it over here to my desktop for a sec. And we're going to go from here to Notebook. And on Notebook, I already have some notebooks. I'm just going to throw one in here. And let's see here. I'm take your and just drop it in. It's going to read all your stuff. And what's cool is it's going to go through all the details of your digital footprint, right? And some of this stuff is going to tell me what's available, what's not. The quickest way to determine that is, for me, is just go over here to, your and create a mind map of what your knowledge is. Because again, this is kind of like your brain, right? So understanding your mind map on this gives me an idea of what I should go into further. Like if I wanted to go into your academic and research, how deep does it go? So, right now, Google Scholar comes up, right? And then your open review profile. So you got these two
Yes.
things. Let's go into your Google Scholar and see what it says here. So all of this is, basically tracking only factual stuff. You don't have a lot of opinion stuff in here, right? That's
Yeah.
kind of what
No,
I'm
not
feeling.
on Google. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
not in that one, right? So that's okay.
Yeah.
I'm just looking at it to kind of validate stuff, right?
Hmm.
But I'm seeing, okay, what are your other, personal profile here? And there's a lot of things going on over here, all right? I'm saying, okay. So what I want to do is I want to say, and this is all just, brain stuff. So create a
Yes.
portfolio, what do you have in here? Great. So I know that it's dealing with grounded material at this point.
Mm-hmm.
I could go search for new stuff and add it in. I can always go add sources from a drive or specific links if it missed, right, something like
Mm-hmm.
if it doesn't have Averse or AI
Yeah.
design verse, and or
Yeah.
just text, right? It's always something to put in there. And you can go
Mm-hmm.
discover, but I typically like to just stay with my discovery in Perplexity or any LLM that has citation and then bring it in. So now I know that I've got good stuff over here. Yay. So I'm happy with my twin. Now it's time to start asking questions. So let's just go to live action and do a question. So I'm going to say, how does Jasmine view the use of AI in product design focused
Yes. Yes.
product design? what are her pros and cons of using it, as well as recommendations. All right, so let's just see what happens. See if there's anything in there that has to do with it. So it says it does not, and I'll just say, read the docs, read the URLs. I'm surprised it's not actually going into it. So using these URLs, the info from these URLs. This is weird. I have not run into this one yet, but changes every day. And then I want to go back to the question here. Ding, 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 ding. Using URLs, determine how, and some, this stuff doesn't really matter. Determine how Jasmine views. You said, bump. All right. Well, that's interesting. I didn't run into that before. But it's interesting because the source guide, as I break it down, should give you each one of these, right?
Yeah,
So a little bit of a failure here. I'll have to go back and do that. But I want to show you one
that's
that
fine.
is
Yeah.
fully formed.
Yeah.
Okay. So let's go to one here. And I'll use Jason Brett since I got his permission the other day. So Jason is the head of product coffee and product camp, and I have a lot more. Notice, the twins here, right? It's basically the same stuff, but I got a lot more out of his than yours for some
Okay.
reason. Bigger digital footprint, possibly. I don't know.
Possible.
But he has a lot of published material, and it's publicly available, right? It seems like a lot of yours was behind LinkedIn profile for some reason. But we validated all these things with Jason and determined this is exactly him. And then we started having some questions. Now it'll give you some sample questions down here, right? What are some clear guardrails, disclosure rules that differentiate, the synthetic persona from actual. Let's see what that says. So, this is good guardrail information. It says, once it's done, identity and disclosure rules. So, the twin must always make it clear it's a synthetic persona. So these are rules that are important to have. So, this isn't real Jason talking. This is the source talking, right? And then, avoid claims authenticity. It must not claim to be that. And then, mandatory. I'm a digital twin. If it's going to be produced in any kind of blog or anything. And then first person caveat, so it can, use that. So these are, knowledge context limitations, avoid the private opinions. So, this would be stuff that's not public or, stuff that's, buried somewhere, right? And then handling, what would he think of it personally? And then he would say, I have to do these. So these are kind of the rules that come up, and that gives you the reasoning. Now, these are all standard questions, but I could go in here and, come up with a question that maybe you might have as a member of the product coffee community. So what question would
Yeah.
you have for Jason?
Um, I think something about um well, okay, so something like what is the plan for product coffee in the next few months, and what should I be looking forward to?
In 2026, how about that?
Yeah, sounds good.
And what should members look forward to that is new?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, so let's see here. First thing it says is I'm a digital twin, right? And that's important,
That's
right? And then based on,
yeah.
I cannot provide details about the plan, the sources, and only go through the end. But here's a discussion of what they do say, right? So it's clear that it's kind of like I'm going to go into the territory of, combining information, right? So this
Yeah.
is saying I'm going to say this is what the sources do say about the operational status. It's
Okay.
affirmed it's active operational. There's 9,000 professionals worldwide. The core mission will continue, clarity growth. It's not anything really different here yet. Maybe just hasn't announced it in any of his public
Yeah.
data. So, weekly coffee, that'll continue, the weekly meetups, workshops, and events. Continue to host and produce the podcasts and videos, right? And I can look at where does that come from and tie it back into exactly where he said that.
Nice.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. And that's what you want to test for, right? So focus on AI. Apparently, that's a big topic. So that's going to continue to be a big topic, right?
Yeah,
And that's
that's
going to
cool.
be based on what we've been doing. It seems like it's going to be continuing to go that way. Major community events like Product Camp, the focus on curing product whiplash, new content. It's not available, but here's what we think. And,
Mhm.
frameworks and actually, Twin is designed for clear action advice over theory. It's framework driven, and that's saying the Twin, but that's Jason's view of the world,
Yes.
right?
Yeah. Yeah.
And he also likes the 60-second business case. So
Hmm.
continued leadership, mentoring, and again, while he can't give you the roadmap, which is maybe what I asked for, it's saying we're going to continue doing what we're doing and adding more things. I think I did a infographic of him here. Let's see if I can have it here. Yeah. So this is that's the word I was trying to come up with earlier was the infographic. So this one's a
Oh,
deep dive into the brain or the anatomy of him, right? And you can go in here and really dig
oh,
in if you
nice.
want to. I like the other one better. It was just more simple. So I did two of them. The other one was here. And again, you just get, it's kind of cool. See how he thinks, a public persona.
Nice.
He's a B2B product executive. He
Yeah.
started doing this and then blah, 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 right? And you
Yeah.
take this and share it out there, and it's kind of cool to share. But he has this decision style. We know that. The
Mhm.
framework, his kind of approach, right? And background.
Mhm.
The other one was more detailed, right? Because it just went into more.
True.
Flashcards are helpful. Maybe the community, he could do like a test on this. I don't even know if I created those yet. Oh, I did. They're already here. And I continue to do that. Every time I think I need something, I just go there. So I'll ask you the question. What is the primary problem that he helps SAS and
Hmm.
B2B leaders solve? Do you know?
No.
Oh, take a guess. Come on.
Um, no, I don't want to get it wrong.
Well, I'll say it's, let's see. I would say he's trying to help people, focus on what's important, and really not, like be able to cut things out a little bit. So let's see what it is. Um, let's see. I got to click it, and he helps product whiplash.
Whiplash.
Yeah,
Hmm.
the constant shifts in priorities and roadmaps. You could do this. What's the name of his framework? Designed to quickly align, that work. The 60-second
Big
business case.
business.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Jason is the founder and host of what?
Not a coffee.
Yay. Okay. So, you can kind of create these tests and you think about it, what is the use of flashcards with your team, right?
Hmm.
There's great audio and video overviews. And I think I did create these somewhere here. Let's see if I have them. I didn't have flashcards. The thing I wish they had, this sounds like maybe audio. Yeah. They don't really, it's not really clear from their images here, by the way, video and audio. You just have to remember that when you're looking. That is a video, that is an audio, right? Let's see what it says. Yeah.
Welcome back to the deep dive. Today we're digging into the research used to model the professional identity and operating philosophy of product executive Jason Brett.
Yeah, and our mission here is
Okay.
really
So you can do
specific.
that way, or you can actually have it interactive if you do want to talk with these hosts, right?
Okay.
Yeah, it's all fun stuff. And of course, a video overview. I think I did that one. Every time I do it,
We're looking at the blueprint for a
let's see
sophisticated
what the video looks like.
Mhm.
And this is just building a digital brain, right?
Okay.
And
Nice.
again, let's see what it says.
Okay, so have you ever wondered if you could, clone an expert's mind? I'm not talking about some wild sci-fi movie. I mean, could you capture someone's public knowledge and their whole style of thinking to build a professional digital twin? Well, today, that's exactly what we're doing. We're going to deconstruct the actual blueprint used to build one.
So get this. This isn't some hypothetical idea.
That's the mandatory disclosure an actual AI gives before every single session. In one sentence, it tells you everything you need to know. It sets the stage, right? It says, hey, I'm a synthetic persona, I'm a tool for you to use, I'm not the real guy.
And that really is the million-dollar question, isn't it? This isn't about making a deep fake voice or creepy avatar. Not at all. It's about taking a person's public expertise, their personality, and even the way they solve problems, and codifying all of that into a working AI. And we're about to walk through the exact spec, the 4 pillars they use to build it.
Nice.
So here's our game plan.
Okay,
First,
so
we'll
you
meet.
get an idea of
Yeah.
how deep you can go, right? And I can download that as an MPEG and send it, or video file. I don't, sorry if I messed
Yeah.
that up, but it's going to go out, right? And the idea is,
Yeah.
how do what do you need to share with whom? Are you educating yourself as the researcher? If I wanted Jason here, or what I call Jason Bot, right? If I wanted him to look at something, all I have to do is add it into my sources,
Yeah.
right?
So,
So
yeah.
right now, notice I
I
have a
think,
limited one file source, right?
hmm
If I
yeah.
add another source in, he'll look at that and I'll say, Jason, what do you think of my website? Right? And I could do
Yeah.
that. I could say, okay, I'm going to add source, and I'm going to add no, let's add your website. Let's put it in here. All right. So your
Okay.
URL again is what? It's
My last name, Kaur. My
carjasmine.com.
first name, Jasmine.
All right. Is
Dot
that
com.
it? Wait, I got
Yes.
to put the two thingies in here. All
Mhm.
right. Let's just add that in. All right. So, and we're going to say, okay, Jason, what do you think of? Oh, no, here, let me just not know. What do you think? How about Jason, provide a critique of Jasmine Kaur's website with 3 steps to improve. Boom. It's going to read it. It's going to look at the whole site. And I want it to give me just, the basic 3 steps, right? So, and then, I don't know if you want to go into this, but
Share
essentially
it with me.
says,
I'll go into it later.
yeah, the problem is top of the page lists 6 different disciplines, right? And before the core
Hmm.
identity, AI product design is established. And so he has the product design bias, right?
Hmm.
So 3 steps to improve the profile, it needs a clear product strategy at the top, the most visible differentiator is the AI product designer,
I
zero to
agree
market
with the
startup.
feedback.
Okay. Action
Yeah.
immediately. Notice it's not being sycophant. It's not saying, hey, this
Yeah.
is a great idea. Or what. It's just doing the thing,
Hmm.
right?
Yeah.
And so you get
Yeah.
all these details. You go, wow, now I know his point of view, and he's someone I would trust,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. For sure.
That's that's how it works. All right. And
Makes sense.
sorry I couldn't get yours to work, but hey, that's
No,
that's the
that's
way
fine.
these things go.
I do have one question for you.
Hmm.
So there are a lot of people who are skeptical about digital personas and synthetic users as a concept, and they've been posting negatively. And anytime you try to read a blog, chances are that people come at it from a negative perspective. So, what do you have anything to say to them, or anything to urge them to try this?
Well, it's hard to change their mind. I think showing them how it works and showing them how to do it right would be helpful. What's happening is there's a lot of pushback on it because maybe they're just letting the LLM decide who that twin is. And the LLM's voice is overtaking that twin. Or they're just being generic and saying, oh, I want, product designers, without giving it real specific direction, you know? So that becomes this composite of LLM decided content. And that's not what you want. When you build a twin or persona, you want grounded, cited content. It only can go to that, and it only can answer based on that content, as we saw. If it's poorly designed, and you just go to if you go to Chat or Claude or whatever, and say build a synthetic persona based on blah, you're going to get work slop. So let me,
Yep.
I think I'm almost done. So I wanted to invite people to connect, and they can do this with any of these. My LinkedIn is on the left, my company is on the lower right, and the AI Collective Atlanta is on the upper right. With
Thank you
that,
so much for this.
now in the workshop, we go into more detail and actually have individuals create their own personas to build, right? So the workshop I'm doing is on December 16th is the next one on this. It's a 3-hour workshop. And it's a, go to the website and ask about that or get in touch. I don't have that link on here, unfortunately, but there is it's on Eventbrite. So go to my LinkedIn and contact me if you're interested in being in the workshop on the 16th.
Yeah. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for coming and sharing this. This has been
My
great.
pleasure.